Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about Mercury in Capricorn. It is a long transit from 4th of January to 10th of March. It is in two sections. Mercury will be first time in Capricorn from 4th of January to 25th of January. Then it moves into small section into Aquarius, retrograde in Aquarius, come right back to Capricorn and be there till 10th of March. So it's a interesting transit, I can say. It is partly combust, partly with away from the sun. It will retrograde and it will have triple blessings from Jupiter. Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton. We are talking Mercury in Capricorn. Do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification, and do look up my conference on Rahu Ketu from 21st of January to 24th of January. It's global and all of you can join from whichever part of the world you are. And let us explore Mercury and this long transit of Mercury. So as you're aware that Mercury has very interesting transit. It rushes through certain signs and then it will stay in one sign for a long time. And Mercury is the first planet to start the gathering of planets. It's like a planetary party, you could say, in Capricorn. Mercury is the first one to come there on 4th of January. And it will move in Capricorn up to 25th of January. Then it moves into Aquarius. Then at the end of the month, 30th of January, it retrogrades back. So it will come back to Capricorn, and then it will be part of the big gathering of planets in 9th to 12th of February and go into Aquarius on 10th of March. So it's a long transit, and Capricorn, generally Mercury is happy in Capricorn. Saturn is a friend of Mercury. It's perfectly happy there. However, there's a lot of activity happening, and you must remember the primary rule of Mercury is that it gets influenced by the company it keeps. And when there is so much company going to be there in Capricorn, Mercury will be joined by Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, Sun, Moon. So that means that a lot of outside advice is coming to you, and Mercury is the significator of our thinking. So regardless of what chart it is, all of us, our analytical skills, our thinking, analysis is all connected to Mercury. And all this outside influence means we can get easily swayed by other people's ideas, and also we can get anxious or worried, but we can also get some good information. How it is depends on each particular chart, but this is the aspect of Mercury in Capricorn. So first thing that you see with Mercury in Capricorn is that it is going to have 3 conjunctions with Jupiter. Actually, we had the Jupiter Saturn conjunction in December, and now the planets are almost coming to pay homage to that conjunction, and therefore releasing some of that energy from that conjunction by their own conjunction to the planets. However, Jupiter, Saturn are shifting and moving apart from each other, and therefore Mercury will make 1 conjunction with Saturn, but 3 conjunctions with Jupiter. And so each one is different, but they are all in Capricorn. Mercury will conjoin with Saturn on 9th of January and Jupiter on 11th of January. So this first conjunction is quite important because it is like a trigger to those energies. And moon is also going to come here in Capricorn around this time, and will create a further trigger to the Jupiter Saturn conjunction. If you study my January news, my video on January news, I've talked a little bit about that in that as well. So Mercury will come when the conjunction is exact to Saturn. It is more of a planetary war, but the Saturn conjunction is reminding Mercury of our duty, our responsibility, the karma we need to do. And it is New Year, so we can think about what is the thing that we want to achieve in this year. And then 11th of January is the first of Jupiter conjunctions, and Jupiter is giving wisdom and knowledge, and this is rather positive. And Mercury will learn. Mercury is intellect, and Mercury needs wisdom from Jupiter. And Jupiter-Mercury conjunction is very pleasant, and Mercury will then retrograde back into Capricorn and make the second conjunction with Jupiter while it is retrograde. Mercury makes its second conjunction in Capricorn on 14th of February. All the planets actually are gathering in Capricorn from 9th to 12th of February. So by 14th of February, some of the planets have moved on. But this is the second Mercury conjunction with Jupiter while Mercury is retrograde. So it's almost as if Mercury learned something from Jupiter in January and now is coming back because it didn't really learn enough. So it is going to come back, conjoin, and still pick up more information, more wisdom, more knowledge from Jupiter. Mercury will make the final conjunction with Jupiter in March, and then all the information Mercury needed from Jupiter is complete for it, and that is quite a powerful energy. Sometimes you see Mercury makes triple conjunctions with more complex planets. Here, Mercury is learning practical wisdom, it's learning old knowledge, information. So we ourselves will also gain knowledge, information with wisdom, because that is what Jupiter is providing. Mercury, as part of its transit in Capricorn, makes 4 conjunctions, and of course 1/5 conjunction will be with the moon. I don't address the moon conjunctions, but the other ones, because they are happening more rarely, once a year they take place. And Mercury will make a conjunction with Saturn in January, but only 1 conjunction with Saturn. Then triple conjunction with Jupiter in January, February, and March. And it will create a conjunction with the Sun, which is also means that it will be combust, hidden behind the Sun. So we saw that Mercury was combust in December. So it's again come to be combust. This is quite common for Mercury, so nothing to worry about. But you can get burnt out or doing things too fast, thinking too fast. So you need to slow down with the combustion of the Sun. Conjunction in Capricorn will be on 8th of February, and then Venus conjunction with Mercury is on 12th of February. And during that big gathering from 9th to 12th, you can see that Mercury is actually conjoining Venus, and Venus is the guru, and it's learning from Venus. It will be only 1 conjunction with Venus, and then in Capricorn, it may conjoin with Venus in Aquarius, but in Capricorn there is only 1 conjunction. And then it will go and conjoin with Jupiter on 14th of February. And I'm talking a bit further about the triple Jupiter conjunction and the triple blessings of Jupiter. The retrograde. So we always watch out for retrograde of Mercury. Every year it retrogrades 3 times. And this year Mercury is retrograding from Aquarius back to Capricorn, then will largely retrograde in Capricorn. When a planet goes further to a sign and then comes back, that means that it has not as yet completed its business in the sign before. So it is coming back, and there is some delay, some obstacle. And we can also think of the pandemic situation we are experiencing. There may be some delays there. It could be delay in processing the vaccine. It could be other delays. But there is that whole retrograde energy, and especially towards the end of January when Mercury turns retrograde. And then in that second part of Mercury in Capricorn, it will conjoin with the Sun. Now, Sun conjunction is very common because Mercury conjoins with the Sun at least 6 times in a year. So this is one of its conjunctions with the Sun, first conjunction with the Sun of 2021. And then it will retrograde conjoin with Venus and with Jupiter. So the Mercury retrograde, what to do, you always double check everything, especially the day it turns retrograde, 30th of January, day it turns direct. Those days are more unsettled. And usually I find during Mercury retrograde, things can change, appointments you miss, you forget about them. What you say, you may say something, people hear something else. It's always good to double check everything. And also because Mercury represents thinking, you can change your mind very easily. You are running straight into something and then you change your mind. And there's an astrological reason for changing your mind. That is because you haven't as yet got enough information. So you need to wait till Mercury goes direct to think about it. And I like to keep the dates of Mercury retrograde in my diary so that I'm aware that this is what is happening. And therefore, if something unsettling happens, I don't feel so unsettled. These are minor unsettled because Mercury is going retrograde all the time. So you can see that it is in your day-to-day life that Mercury will impact. So what to look out for this Mercury transit? Aries, Mercury is not necessarily the best planet for you. Capricorn is 10th house of career. You're getting a lot of energy in your house of career. Is that good or negative? You have to think about it because Mercury can make you think a lot about your career, but there can be a lot of interference, a lot of people trying to tell you what to do. And I would say just watch out for the retrograde, and also with the Mercury conjunction with Jupiter. Jupiter is the guru in your chart. It's the 9th house ruler, 12th house ruler. Watch your expenses. Mercury can also bring information to light too. Now, one thing important to understand here is that Mars during this transit is very strong. So you are in a driving seat. So overall, I think this is going to be pretty okay. You'll be able to deal with it. Taurus, Mercury is an excellent planet for you. Capricorn is your 9th house of learning, education, higher mind. All the planets are gathering there. So as far as Mercury is concerned, watch out for the retrograde. And I feel the 12th of February when Venus, Mercury are in a clash, this can be a clash with your best friend. That is a way to look at it. Although Mercury, Venus are friends, that clash can create some minor irritation or difficulty, but it can also bring opportunities for you. So I feel that is the thing. If you're thinking about studying, this is a good time to decide. There may be too many choices ahead of you and too many advisors as well. So I would say wait till after the transit is over to make a decision. Gemini, Mercury is, of course, your ruling planet, and Capricorn is your 8th house. So for Gemini, this is not the easiest transit. I would say that retrograde Mercury, combustion of Mercury, Mercury's conjunction with Saturn on 9th of January, Jupiter on the 3 conjunctions. Jupiter can be some conflict with partners, with your work. But overall, I would say that this particular transit, while Mercury is in Capricorn, you are not trying to make big changes, and it can be a bit unsteady time. So it's a good idea to do some research, do some spiritual things, study. All those things are good, but not the easiest transit for you. Cancer, all this is happening in the 7th house of business. It can also be 7th house of partnerships. And Mercury is not the best planet for you. It's your 12th house ruler, so he can bring expenses, especially if you're forming any new partnership, business partnership. You've got to be a little bit careful about money and expenses related to them. And in your area of relationships, all these planets are gathering. So personal relationships also, sometimes you can feel there's interference there, people bothering you. So you have to try to have a detached attitude towards it. And I would say that use all this Mercury in Capricorn to kickstart work positions, or focus on your work at this time, and other things just allow them to float away. Leo, Capricorn is your 6th house. 6th house is the house of obstacles. Mercury is a planet of money for you. So money planet going into house of obstacles with multiple conjunctions, Sun's conjunction as well. So this is not the easiest time for you. And I would say that you have to conserve your resources, and you feel very restricted and obstacles, and especially while the sun is also in Capricorn and the gathering of planets in Capricorn. What can you do good? You can do karma yoga, give back to society, be a positive force for good for other people. You can make some donation. You can concentrate on work and do what you have to do. Don't get involved in any petty things or irritating squabbles and things. That would be the best. Virgo, Mercury is your ruling planet. You have a much better experience of Mercury in Capricorn than Gemini, because Capricorn for you is your 5th house of creativity, good ideas, past life, good fortune. So this is rather a pleasant transit for you overall. Capricorn's always asking to pay the dues and work hard. I would still watch out for the conjunctions. Mercury Saturn conjunction on 9th of January. Mercury Jupiter is quite pleasant. You are thinking about your home and relationships, and times the Jupiter conjunction, very positive for you. Venus conjunction also good for you. I would say just watch out for when Mercury conjoins the Sun on 8th of February. Because that means that you're a little bit burnt out, you're overdoing things, you need a little holiday, too many interests, too many ideas coming your way. Libra, Mercury is a good planet for you. Mercury rules your 9th house. It is positive energy. In Capricorn, Capricorn is your 4th house. It's home, happiness. Saturn is there, Jupiter is there, Mercury is going to be there, all the planets. It's like you got a lot of guests at home. So sometimes, emotionally it can be tough, lots of planets together, and lots of ideas floating, what to do about your home, what to do about children, creativity, career. Everything seems to be all jumbled up. And I would say be cautious about it. Always watch the Mercury retrograde dates. And especially 12th of February, when Venus, Mercury conjoin together. Venus is going to be conjoined with Jupiter and Mercury at the same time approximately. So you do need to watch that. And it can be conflict with friends. It can be just some irritant energy. However, Mercury, Venus also is a yoga, and it can give opportunities for you as well. Scorpio, Mercury is not the best planet for you. Capricorn is the third house of action, confidence, initiative. So your thinking is wanting to take initiative. Saturn is there, Jupiter's there, lots of planets have in it. So you can sometimes feel super confident, overconfident. Is that good? Is that bad? I would say Saturn being there, caution is good. And that will be the best. Mercury does rule money for you, as it is your 11th house ruler. So financially, you can think about any initiative to take. Feel that when Mercury is retrograding and then it is going to be in that combination with all the planets, that is not a good idea. So wait till after 15th of February to make any big financial decisions. However, your ruling planet Mars is strong, so trust your own instinct and follow that. That will be the best for you. Sagittarius, Mercury is creating 3 conjunctions with Jupiter. So that is your ascendant ruler. Mercury rules your 7th and 10th house. So relationships, career, those are the focus at this time. Capricorn is 2nd house of finances. And lots of planets gathering in the 2nd house of finances, but especially Mercury. And during the retrograde Mercury, I think you need to be careful about making any financial, personal decisions at that time. And then also the Mercury-Jupiter conjunctions, while they are quite positive and they can activate energies, the exact time of the conjunction is not the best time to make decisions. However, sometimes, the exact conjunctions trigger something out. It opens an opportunity. So be aware of it. That is a positive energy. I think the Mercury-Venus conjunction on 12th of February, that is more complicated for you. Actually, Mercury with the Sun is the 9th and 10th house lord, and that is not a bad combination. However, Mercury will feel combust on the 8th, so it's not fully functioning. Capricorn, of course, Saturn is in Capricorn. Mercury comes and visits you in Capricorn. And Mercury in your chart is your 9th house ruler. It is an excellent planet for you generally overall. It is 9th of January, the Mercury-Saturn conjunction. It's sort of trying to give you some information. It is more positive energy, bringing some lightness. Saturn, of course, is visiting Capricorn, so he becomes the most important planet because all these other planets will go away, but Saturn will still be there. So you have to, separate the, the trees from the scenery or the dross, So a lot of times there's a lot of information floating around. Not all of it is correct, but Mercury's definitely is a more positive energy for you. It's just the other things are also there, so you need to keep a lookout for. And slow and steady, caution is the Capricorn approach, and especially if your moon is in Capricorn, then you've got to take that you're in the intense Sarasati and you're being cautious. Aquarius, Mercury Capricorn is your 12th house, not the best energy. Mercury is a good planet for you. It rules your 5th house. It also rules your 8th house. And being in the 12th house of expenses, a lot of effort, little reward. Be careful with the expenses, especially, and also around Mercury retrograde, because you may suddenly change your mind. Suddenly it can be a lot of expenses. And because there's this gathering of all the planets, that is the main thing that you're being cautious about. Pisces, Mercury rules your 4th house home and 7th house relationships. I think being in Capricorn is the house of money and earnings. So you may be earning from home. You may be finding that there are opportunities for you. And Jupiter is your ascendant ruler. or moon ruler. So these three conjunctions of Mercury with Jupiter, it can be rather positive for you, thinking about your finances, sorting out the financial opportunities, and same with any partnerships you have. Just avoid the exact conjunction day, but otherwise I feel that you are on the same page. You want uh, to earn. So say if you want to work from home, like I work from home, so that may be something that Mercury in Capricorn and conjunction with Jupiter is telling you. Or if you are having property you want to rent out, those things can be also a possibility. So that is it for today. All the best. Thank you very much. Do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification.